Y'all remember these superfans? Well, apparently they get to fly around to all the major sporting events where the South African team is going to be playing on the taxpayers' dime. But before we get into this, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this kind of content, and hit that bell notification so that you're notified every time a new episode is up.
Hong, hong, hong. My wife, she get it. Yeah.
Did I hear that correctly? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Newsflash. I'm your host, Joe Emilio. Thanks for tuning in. All right, now let's get into the meme of the day. You know, in South Africa, this also feels kind of true, right? But it also reminds me of this. You remember the time that Botha tried to fill a pothole? Just notice what's around that pothole. I don't know. This meme was based on a true story. Anyway, let's get into today's story. Mama Joyride SA Superfans Rugby World Cup trip allegedly costs over 1.3 million rand. Okay, just to fill you in case you don't know. These superfans have been seen at nearly every sporting event that a South African team is on or playing in. And it got Ronaldo House curious, especially when the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture admitted that these superfans are sponsored to go to these events for the good vibes. I was today years old when I found out that these two are paid by the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture to go and be supporters in the stands. I'm not joking, they are paid by taxpayers to go to sporting events across the world to represent South Africa. And this encouraged Ronaldo House to find out just how much is being spent on these superfans. I was today years old when the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture responded to my PAIA application to inform that they spent 1.3 million rand on two superfans on flights and accommodation alone. And this was just for the 2023 Rugby World Cup.
Man, this is some bullshit!
And it gets even worse. The minister and his delegates spent 7.7 million rand at the same 2023 Rugby World Cup business class flights that cost about 150,000 rand, executive vehicles, which are 17,000 rand per day, executive hotel rooms at 14.5 thousand rand per night, and access to VIP lounges, 7,000 rand per visit, are some of the things the taxpayers had to fund. He also mentioned that the department failed to provide expenses for the following trips, which some of these superfans attended. I mean, this goes all the way back to 2016. And I agree 100% with Ronaldo with what he says here. The absolute heartbreaking part here is that we have young, talented sports stars from across the country who have to play barefoot, wear hand-me-down kits with makeshift equipment, and can't even dream of watching their heroes in action because the same superfans, politicians, and their friends have to enjoy the very best in life. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. And that really is heartbreaking because there's a lot of South Africans that would love this opportunity to go and watch their heroes play in real life and be treated like royalty for even just a weekend. I mean, the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture is missing a very good opportunity, if I'm honest, because they could have made this into a whole campaign where every time there's a major sporting event, they can tell people, tell us why you're the super fan for this season, and you could win a trip and all expense paid. I mean, that would be good PR. Maybe I'm giving them good ideas, but then again, I don't think they'll even use this idea because we all know that probably these superfans are somehow linked to the ANC in some shape or form. Of course, I'm speculating here. And the reason why I say this is because of the bogus reason why these two were chosen as superfans. How did they select them? Well, according to the department, there isn't actually an official initiative. The superfans managed to speak to the department at OR Tambo on the 28th of August 2023, 11 days before the tournament started, and asked if they could go.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
They just asked, like, hey, guys, can you just, pay for our flights, pay for our accommodation, we'll go there, we'll make South Africa look good, we'll hold some signs, and yeah, dollar what we must, You gotta admit there's something fishy here. And again, useless expenditure of taxpayer money. Instead of putting it towards something like, I don't know, fixing load shedding or even adding that 1.3 million to the SAP's budget, for example. This is the ANC we're talking about after all. And before I go, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update. You'll remember a few weeks ago, I spoke on a story about SAPs and their radio systems being down and how some of their radio systems are from the 80s, at least in the Western Cape. Well, there's some good news, and I'm going to let Ian Cameron give this update.
Hey everyone, just an update. So you'd remember the last few months we've been fighting to get good functioning radio systems, two-way radio systems up and running for cops in the Western Cape. So the radios that they were using up until now were issued in the 1980s and were completely unserviceable. Most of the service had collapsed completely to the point where cops in most parts of the province were actually using their cell phones, specifically WhatsApp, to try and communicate with each other. Now this posed a very serious threat, especially in specialized units, where when it was load shedding, for example, they couldn't communicate at all and they were relying on their own data and airtime. So good news, since the beginning of this week, they've started receiving new radios. From what I understand, it is only an interim solution, but at least it's something. They're getting good quality digital radios that will be used and distributed throughout stations, police stations, and specialized units in the Western Cape. I really want to thank everyone for sharing the story, telling people about it, and really getting the message out there. There are so many good men and women that wear that blue uniform, and we need to cherish those that work so hard and put their lives on the line for us. So thank you to everyone. Let's keep pushing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this episode. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to like this video and share it far and wide. And if you really enjoy what I do on this channel, please consider becoming a member. It goes a long way to supporting me and what I do on this channel. Plus, you get a lot of great perks, one of which is that you get to see these episodes first before everybody else. And if you want more details on that, then go to the join button at the bottom of this video or go to the link in the pinned comment below. And with all that being said, ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching. Your newsflash is in.